Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 4 of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. So this episode starts with the classic Star Wars dilemma. Ship gets broken down and they have to stop on a planet to get some food or some fuel or some repairs, and this happens again in this episode, which is not a disappointment. It's starting to become kind of a staple of Star Wars shows. It's very reminiscent of The Mandalorian, maybe some episodes of Rebels, and definitely the early episodes of the Clone Wars show. But it's kind of getting to a point where it doesn't even bother me anymore, just because I'm so used to it. And it's also kind of a really easy way to kind of introduce new characters and plots into a series. Now, with episode 4 being the shortest of the Bad Batch episodes that we've gotten so far, it's a really fun one to watch for me. It's got a lot of great action, and it's really fast-paced. And another thing is all the sound effects. There's a lot of like Attack of the Clones sound effects when it comes to the speeders and ships flying by, and also it's really kind of visually stunning. There's a lot of pretty colors and a lot of great contrast that goes on in the episode. Obviously, one of the biggest points of it is that the Mandalorian character, Fennec Shand, is made her appearance in an animated form, and she was awesome. I really enjoyed getting to see her. When we first saw her in The Mandalorian, I thought, okay, another actress cameo, nothing really special. And then by the end of season 2 of Mando, I was a fan of her, especially that she's going to be working very closely with Boba in the Book of Boba Fett. She's one of the reasons that I'm excited for that show. Definitely not the main reason, because my boy, but yeah, I'm excited for her for sure. Bars.
My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick.
One of the things that I thought was really cool about Fennec's character in this episode was the fact that she was viewed as more of a villain instead of a hero. Because in The Mandalorian, we're rooting for her and the team that she's a part of. And in this, she's the villain. And it kind of proves that, like, context is everything when it comes to your perception of a character. I thought that was really well done and just really interesting. And it was also something I didn't notice until after the fact. I was like, huh, she's a bad guy now. Weird. And again in this episode, we had an incident where Wrecker hits his head. Again. When Fennec is chasing after Omega and they're in the catacombs or the sewers or whatever you want to call them, Wrecker goes and is ready to fight her, and he gets his head slammed into a control panel down there. Something is definitely happening there. I really do think that Wrecker is gonna get his chip activated, or something's gonna happen with that chip where the Bad Batch is either gonna have to take him down or completely take him out, and I'm not really looking forward to that. That's gonna be a pretty sad episode. This episode didn't really do a whole lot to advance the plot of the show, but it did add a bounty hunter in there, which definitely raises the stakes when it comes to the Bad Batch's overall plan to just settle down. As we see that multiple times throughout The Mandalorian, and how Din is never able to find a safe place for him and Grogu to kind of hang out and just lay low for a while. And I think that will add a level of urgency and kind of stakes, kind of putting them out on the edge a little bit. I think it makes the show a little bit more exciting and intriguing to watch, just those small little cliffhangers. And speaking of cliffhangers, one of the things that the show kind of left us on was Fennec communicating with someone, whoever hired her, to get Omega. We don't know who that is. Personally, I think it's the Kaminoans, just because of the way that Fennec was protective of Omega once she found her. She didn't seem like she wanted to hurt her or anything like that. She seemed like she needed to protect the prize that she was hunting. And if Omega is actually Phase 3 of the Clone Troopers, then I would think the Kaminoans would want to protect her. Now, Phase 3, I don't know what that means for the future of cloning, but it obviously has to fail if Stormtroopers are to replace the clones later on in the Star Wars timeline. With all that being said, I really enjoyed this episode. It was very action-packed and fun to watch. I can't wait to see what happens with Fennec's character, and if maybe she turns into an ally for the Bad Batch later on, because in our eyes, she still kind of is a hero. Maybe not at this point. But I'm also excited to see how the Bad Batch holds up with the galaxy changing. We're getting small moments of that, but I'm just excited to see more of it. And maybe in this next episode, we'll get to see some secrets about Omega that we definitely don't know about yet, but everyone has got some sort of hunch about her, and I would love to know more, just like I'm sure you guys would. So that's going to do it for my Bad Batch Episode 4 review. Thank you so much for watching, and down in the comments, put down what you thought of this episode. I'd love to know. And may the Force be with you, always.